How long did it take you to kind of be happy with the formula that you have?
It was a lot of trial and error, I'm not gonna lie, and you gotta be careful when you're dealing with fentanyl because you don't want to kill anybody.
I think there's a funny contrast between injecting fentanyl and that Hello Kitty dancing.
Tranq is growing here in Florida. Reports show that up to 80% of recent fentanyl seizures contain xylazine, a sedative given to animals during surgery. I want to understand this rise in demand, so I'm meeting up with a dealer named Tattoo. He's invited us to tag along for the day while he makes his drops.
Tranq money. I could buy this off Tranq money.
Is it really that strong that I need to put this on?
I mean, fent is really fine.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be close to me, yeah. I mean, not them, but
Okay.
see how fine it looks? So, because it's like it's chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Is this like a thing where I should be like breathing out of my mouth or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really like to do small things with the xylazine because it's hard to find people. You gotta really go out there and find people that are into this type of thing,
Yeah.
It's all about supply and demand, Mm-hmm. It's getting more popular.
Yeah, when did you first start noticing like that the demand for it was just like kind of jumping?
At least for me, like about 6-7 months. For me, I'm fairly new to it,
Mm-hmm.
More people are asking for it more. I'm assuming because of the length of the high,
When you're bagging like this, do you have drops after this? Or are you just like waiting for people to come by later?
Yeah, if I bag it up, it's because I have somebody already interested in some.
Wait, did you use Pokemon cards?
It's Poliworld.
Yeah, actually I do. At noon, I start checking my phones. I don't get like up maybe till like 2 o'clock. Then I start seeing my orders, and then I, bag up. This would be like fent, like you would sell it like fent. Like a point would be, over here a point is $20 because we're in South, we're in the South.
And then this is a 1/2 gram right there?
This is a 1/2 gram, yeah.
Okay, are you selling grams of it too, or?
I'd rather not deal with the 20, I'd rather deal 1/2 grams and up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a point is $20, I'll sell somebody a 1/2 gram. I'll tell them, give me, $60 for a 1/2 gram. They're gonna save money. You understand what I'm saying? The gram would be like 120, 150, depending on the strength of it.
Probably different crowds are hitting you up at different times, right? So who are like the early guys who are trying to get this right now?
The early guys would be the people going into work that are like sick, like dope sick. Because it has the fentanyl, definitely makes you dope sick, so they can't go to work sick, so they do the stuff early. Ravers would be like more in the nighttime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just so crazy that like ravers are going for this.
That's what I took because of the similarity of the ketamine. I have no, it's a new crowd,
Yeah, I mean, it's so much gnarlier than K though.
I don't like to get too close to it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I put it in a bag and then I seal it like this. I vacuum seal it so it doesn't really get out.
Yeah, who's the client who's getting that big bag today?
One of my boys, he's gonna re-up.
Do you find that the guys who are buying it for you, who are then kind of also dealing it, are they using it too, or does everybody kind of try to keep away from that stuff if they can?
No, I've never seen anybody that deals this and also uses it. I haven't ran into somebody yet.
They just know how bad it can be?
Yeah.
When we were driving here, we saw cops everywhere. Is it kind of freaky driving around with all this in your car?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have to take something for the anxiety when I have this type of things in my car. Yes, I usually drive with a bottle of Jameson, what I'm saying? This is like the strip right here where like the girls come and they come and trick right here at this little intersection right here. This house just got raided last week. That's the Mexicans. They sell weed right there. That's some people waiting for dope right there. These are all trials though. You see where they got the doors open like that? That means that they're open. You feel me? This is 3rd Street right here. They're right there. That's where they sell boy and fent right there. The other one's Molly. All these shits are traps, like literally, like, all these shits. Yo. Yeah. What's good? Chillin', this bitch about to pull up and give me that bread right now. So if you wanna come through, I'm here at my mom's crib. You still wanted those things too, right? Yeah. 5? Give me, I wanted the 4 for 60, 15, right? All right, yeah.
So where are we heading right now?
Right now we're going to drop off some Tranq and some bud.
And who's the guy who ordered this?
It's actually a girl.
What is that, a half?
This is a half ounce of weed and a half a gram of xylazine.
And is this for her, or is she just acting as a middleman? Is she selling this?
Well, the weed is for her, but I feel like by her middlemaning this is paying for her weed.
Okay.
I'll be back, guys.
For sure.
Seeing how Tattoo is drinking, smoking, snorting coke, and taking Xanax throughout the entire car ride, I'm actually impressed we were able to make it to all his drops. Like, how much are you pulling in? Like, and if you don't want to use like concrete, just some soft figures right here.
In between $6,000 and $8,000 a week.
You're putting the windows up. What, is there a cop?
Yeah, I see police lights. You see on this, you see on that F-150?
Oh yeah, the blue.
It might not be police lights, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I wish I could fucking introduce you guys to my fucking cop friends. That shit wouldn't be too good, though.
What, are they big clients of yours?
They actually are clients, and they actually sell to their own client.
So it's like cops stealing the other cops at the
Right.
precinct?
Through a contact down here, we've connected with 2 Tranq users who've invited us to the apartment complex that they're squatting at. Interestingly enough, the complex is in a neighborhood known as Overtown. It's full of bandos, abandoned houses. We saw a lot of aid workers and even nuns distributing meals. So these 2 people have invited us to kind of chat with us about their experience with Tranq and kind of explain when it got so prevalent on the streets. How long have you been using opiates and all of this stuff?
The opiates I've been using now for like 12 years, like 11 years. Yeah. I went to Florida State like for school, and I did a lot of different drugs up there. And then I met a guy that introduced me to Roxy's, like the 30 milligram oxycodone pills, the little blue ones. And I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know that like you could get physically dependent on them. Like I didn't know what oxycodone was, honestly. Like I just had never heard about it or like known people to abuse it. And I started withdrawing, without knowing I was withdrawing. So that's how that started. And then, yeah, I just became addicted to opiates, and then eventually like that pill crisis happened, where they shut down all those pill mills that were in South Florida, and you like couldn't get them anymore. So that's how I started shooting heroin, and then it was just whatever was next. I actually started working because my bachelor's is in criminology, ironically enough. So I started working for like the public defender, the public defender here in Miami, and after the internship, they hired me, and I worked for them. I worked for felony drug court, and I was already getting high on the painkillers and eventually like on the heroin. But nobody knew, that I worked with, like they didn't have any idea. And then the first time I was ever arrested, it was a drug-related case. It was like several possession charges. So I showed up as an inmate, like in Orange, in drug court, like where I worked, and was fired. So that's how that happened.
Can you kind of talk to me about, when Tranq first started showing up on the scene?
I thought a friend of mine just had really good fentanyl, like, or whatever, because I would get it and then I would get like really high. Eventually, like, I started like to get it from other places and it wasn't working, so that's not good, because now I guess I'm like hooked on Tranq.
How does Tranq make you feel when you're on it?
Not so much sleepy, but like kind of if you're like on anesthesia.
From different things that I've seen and different people that I've talked to, I've seen that kind of the injection sites can get infected.
Yeah, like right now, like these sores and stuff, like all these scars, that's all like Tranq related.
How often are you using Tranq?
Whenever it's in the fentanyl, I use, which I use like maybe 4 or 5 times a day.
You live here with your girlfriend right now?
Yeah.
How did you two meet?
We met out here.
Was she on the streets too?
Yeah. She was living in a tent.
Do you or your girlfriend have a job right now?
No.
So how are you guys providing for yourselves?
I will like go to stores and they call it boosting, and just kind of like steal stuff and then sell it, and then she does what she needs to do, to get money. Usually like our cleaning lady comes by, but yeah. Show him your dancing Hello Kitty. For real.
I call her a stripper.
I think there's a funny contrast between injecting fentanyl and that Hello Kitty dancing.
If you could snap your fingers and things could be instantly the way you wanted them, like what would that look like?
I don't know. I have no idea, really. Easier. Yeah.
Through one of our contacts, I'm meeting with CG, a woman in Overtown who's currently in treatment. She's agreed to tell me what her experience with Tranq was like on the streets. How long were you on the streets?
5 years.
How did you find yourself there?
I started doing heroin when I was 28. I was staying with my parents and my mom was dying from dementia. She didn't know who anybody was. She didn't know who I was or anything. And then one day paramedics had to come and take her to the hospital. And as they're taking her away, she looks at me and she reaches up to me and she says, "I don't want to lose you to needles." And it wasn't like that. I just decided to get clean that day, and I was gonna get clean a week, I got clean that day. And I had to pull the plug on her on Christmas. She died on New Year's. So after she died, my stepdad just closed the apartment and he left. So I didn't have that resource and I was just kind of couch hopping. And then I found out that my best friend from high school of 16 years, she shot herself in the head. And that just did me in. I had a boyfriend where before I would go to work, he would shoot me up because I couldn't do it myself. And then he snuck me a speedball without me knowing, which is my downfall. And I just ended up in Overtown.
How do you adapt to that new life?
The drugs were very numbing. Being homeless is a new level of loneliness. When I got clean, I got released from the hospital. I had one more day left on the streets sober. And that was the first day that I was scared, which was the only day that I spent on the street sober.
What drugs made it easier?
I did fentanyl. I would speedball. I really did not like Tranq because you're passing out, right on the spot. You don't even realize you're passing out. It's not like all of a sudden you're nodding and then you're nodding. No, it's like you're out. And you can't, Narcan doesn't help with an OD with Tranq. So it's really dangerous if you OD.
Did you know a lot of people who started getting hooked on it?
Well, it was kind of our only option most of the time. They were putting it in a lot of bags. You have a bag that has maybe 8% fentanyl and the rest Tranq. You're sick in 2 hours. So I'm constantly having to hustle just to get a shot in 2 hours, another shot, and it's just like exhausting.
What is the process with getting clean been like?
But I mean, I'm gonna have a baby, so that's really what is like. That's my main reason to be clean. So that I don't even think about it because I'm just thinking about caring for the child that I'm gonna have. There is bacteria on my lung and a septic emboli, which could lead to a stroke. The doctor that I had, when he saw me, he saw somebody that deserved a chance. He saw a person, and I want to like go up to him and show him that I'm grateful to him by being clean today.
CG was able to kick her addiction despite being surrounded by people who were eager to feed it. So I'm linking back up with Tattoo to get his final thoughts on this, seeing as not too long ago, he was also fighting a fentanyl addiction.
When does the foot traffic usually start coming in tonight?
I mean, right now, everybody wants me to deliver, like, so this is what I call a party pack.
Okay, so it's a little bit of crystal, a little Tranq, some cocaine, and some weed. Is this like a popular option?
No, this is a weird, it's a weird request, but I don't ask them too many questions. They're probably just hanging out at the crib, you know, they want to just get fucked up. These are two imported, we have some gel tabs right here. Both of these are imported from Canada.
This feels like a light stash, like where's the rest?
It looks like a light stash. This shit will send you to prison for a very long time. All this right here, they'll give me like at least like 10, 15 years for all this shit.
Damn.
Especially this. This is the most of it, you know?
I mean, what's your record?
It's pretty bad. I went to prison twice already.
Who are the people who are like specifically coming for like Tranq though? Like what's that out of your clients? Who are those guys?
Mostly it's like servers, people that are up on their feet all day long. I guess the mix of the fentanyl is like a painkiller type of thing.
Have you seen kind of clients go from this to fentanyl to Tranq?
Yes, yeah, I have.
I'm looking at this now, and the yellow comes from the fent.
Right, from the mixing of the two chemicals.
Are people coming to you specifically just to get Tranq without fent too?
Yeah, more of the ravers, yeah.
How long did it take you to kind of be happy with the formula that you have?
It was a lot of trial and error, I'm not gonna lie, and you gotta be careful when you're dealing with fentanyl because you know you don't want to kill anybody. He's high, nodding.
How soon from kind of like
seconds? Yeah, the other guy's dead. I don't want to show the other guy. The other guy overdosed, so I really don't want to show him.
I'm sure a lot of different dealers don't care if their clients OD, but it seems like you do.
You know, unfortunately, some of my friends use it, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want to sell my friends a bad batch and have them OD, you know what I'm saying?
Is that hard as a dealer where you're like,
yeah,
you know, I don't want to sell you this because you know how bad it is, but...
It is, but then again, you know, I was hooked on heroin and fentanyl for 10 years, you know, and I got off of it, and I could be around, you know what I'm saying, and choose not to do it, you know what I'm saying?
So you're seeing all of these other people struggle, and they're coming in and like getting this from you. Like, do you have survivor's guilt from the fact that you were able to kick it?
Yeah, I feel guilty because I'm giving it to my friends, you know? I feel guilty, like if I'm an enabler. Somewhat, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, they have a choice, you know? In this game, you can't have no type of remorse, you know what I'm saying?
Was that a hard lesson for you to learn?
Yeah, definitely. But you know, when I was in prison and everybody turned their backs on me, that's what made me like this, you know what I'm saying? When I needed everybody and they didn't help me out, that's why I'm like this. And now I could sell this to my friends, you know what I'm saying?